in our new year. This is Darshini in Spirit. At the moment here, not in spirit, but in both. Anyway, we're going to cover a few things here. I have already been notified with the predictions I did for the opening set, which I had downloaded and actually uploaded into YouTube at the end of last year. And on 12/12/12, most of them have unfortunately come true. I still see that continuing. One person had already actually put a note on that most of, if not all of the predictions have already started coming true, and requested I actually put out more. I will do my best. I can't promise anything, but I will do my best. There are several other questions. I can't answer everybody's actual questions that they put to me, the individual ones, so please, I will try and cover the people any questions or concerns that really will affect a lot of people. And not on a personal level. I do not give readings on YouTube. We discussed that another time. You can go to my website on that one. Now for this video, I'm actually doing a few things that I really feel that people will use, and it's not so much per se exercises. It's a bit of a knock in the head, if anything, this video. So I would like you to know that I will do the updates for American later on, but it's really the world events, and in certain individual countries I will put in later on, hopefully today if not tomorrow. So please look out for it if you are interested in that, in the economy and certain events that I'm seeing. I will be uploading that in the next few days, and I apologize, I was going to do it at the end of the year, but events were a bit more pressing on other occasions. So we're coming into something else that's really caught my attention, and it is affecting a lot of you out there, if not nearly everybody, to a certain level, and it's to do with the economy. So excuse my glasses, I'm getting older here. So anyway, what we've got here is, I would like to address at this stage, and I apologize in those, but I want to make sure I covered everything. And I'd like to address now what the world's facing practically with the economic fluctuation. Now, I'm talking about fluctuation in the way of uncertainty. I know that the budget was just approved here in America, but this is really not only us, we're talking about Asia, Europe, individual countries, individual people, the people who are watching this. And it's really important for me to know that, for you to know that you're not alone. If anything, I know there are a lot of people who are in support of what I believe, and that is that we are never alone. Whether you like it or not, how many times I have put this out, that in certain lectures that people are shocked when I do readings, how that I'm describing events when they were alone, like they were trying to commit suicide with a gun or God knows what else. And they're saying, how do you know? Well, you're not alone. We are tied to the other side, whether you like it or not. Whether again you like it or not, you can fight this, it's up to you, you can reject them, but you have guides. And that's another video which I put on about 2 years ago, explaining about what type of guides are around you. I do not know the names of guides. That's one thing I don't do, because quite frankly they're not into ego. They don't need to be defined. It's energy, which in a later book I'll actually get into that side of it. But for here we're talking about economy, and the economy in the way of down to the microcosm of what you're going through, you may be going through, or somebody you know that is going through, that life is being so harsh as they may have lost their job, or you may have lost your job, or you're concerned about losing a job, or that you don't have a job, or somebody you know, or that you don't know what the economy is going to do, taxes, God knows what else. but basically it's about surviving financially. Now I'd like to put forward a few things here at this stage, and excuse the glasses again. So there are so many people of you out there who are already worrying about this, being anxious about the stressing, about the future, about where the money's going to be, if they're going to have that job, as I said, your life. Unfortunately, going in such deep depressions and a spiral downwards, enough to think of suicide. And I hate to say it, this is not something that is new. I have predicted, unfortunately, quite a bit about this, that the suicides have increased. People, and I'm not talking just the ones that hit the news, because quite frankly that's only a tip of the iceberg. I'm talking about people who feel that everybody has kind of not supporting them, that they're alone so much, that they're getting into deeper and deeper depressions. Now this is the shift. This is the shift of energy, and I am actually going to be working on the book at last. I've been well, put it this way, I've actually been told I can release it soon. So anybody interested can email me on that one, and I will put you on the priority notification list. But it's really an explanation. All the predictions I've said, 98% did come true in the last 2 years. And it's up to you what you want to believe. It's your perception. I'm not here to prove anything to you, to myself. It is what I'm seeing. On a side note regarding predictions, and I would like to state this, and I will state it for other videos later, is that the predictions I give is through, and again, I've put this on other videos, I do not go through guides, I do not go through other spirits or whatever. I do not channel. It is totally different style. It is going through different dimensions, and that's how I am able to, how I say it, send my radar out, and then I go backwards, forwards, whatever, or wherever we are now. And dealing with energy is totally different, and that is why they're a bit more exacting, and I'm able to give you that. But, and I will say a but here, everything is energy, and energy is not static. It is not hard as stone, or like this really $1 million old piece here. It's really to do with, it changes. So when, even though 98% or so have come true, it is up to the individuals and how they affect it. It's like a domino effect. It will literally leave a trail, and it does change things. And a lot of people, and it's up to you what you want to do, what you do with your life, what you have made decisions. Oh, I'm going to sit here like a potato in front of the TV and let that be my babysitter or my companion. That's up to you. I am not here to make any kind of judgments. That is not what I do. But I am giving you a hand here, up here, and saying that you can be active in your own life. And being active is really saying, I want more for myself. I want to be the happiest I've ever been, and really be at peace. That's all what Spirit wants to be around you for, is to achieve a level of, how can I say this, peace and happiness that you've never known before. So what I'd like to go through is just to say, again, it is not a science. A science is, I believe, science to me is an explanation of what that is out there, energy or whatever you want to say. But quite frankly, what I'm doing is, it's not an exact science. It is not something that you can say per se, it is definitely going to happen. Again, it's up to the individual, and energy is not static. I will reiterate that, and it does move. So I do the best I can. I don't need any kind of negative comments. That's fine. You can send them, but quite frankly, they're going to get deleted. I've already received quite a few. Well, not a huge amount, but a few. But I am deleting any comments that aren't constructive. If it's constructive, and even though I don't agree with it, I will post it. So it all depends if it's got a negative context. And if it's nothing to do with what I'm actually talking about, that won't get either posted. Yes, I know some of you may not like that. Please move on to another video. Now, as for this one, I've got a lot of information which I will be discussing later, and this is the world. But regarding this one, going back to you, and this is what's more important to me, is the individual here I'm talking to. Because your life is maybe, or somebody you know, may be going through some really rough times, I'm going to give you a bit of information here. And I offer it these few things, and what I call is sharing sessions. So remember, please remember this, that the worst of times, and I know that 99.9% of you out there have gone through really bad times. If it wasn't in your childhood, it's in where you are now. The worst times are usually, please go back, and this is an exercise, you can do this on your own. Go back and really log, if you can remember the times. Exact dates don't really matter, but it'd be great if you have the times that you had the worst times in your life, the worst events, the worst episodes, if something has happened. And then your homework is also, and I always give homework in my classes, and that is look at the times immediately following that. And it could be about 2-3 months later, it could be immediate, but there are some of the best times in your life where you've grown exponentially, and or even if you've grown a tiny bit, you've changed. And it was because of those bad times, which I know that we kick and scream. It's just that we're so creatures of habit. And it takes a lot for us to get out of our security square. We've got the remote, we've got the microwave next to us, and whatever. We can exist in front of the TV sometimes. But no, what life does is it pushes you to grow. Whether you like it or not, it will push you. And this is what I'm trying to teach. I've got 84 classes at the moment. And I'm trying to, and I will try and put them on a webinar so everybody around the earth, the world could access them. But look out for that one. But at this moment, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to share some of the teachings that I do have actually shared with my students. So what I'm saying is I want you to do that, the worst of times and the best of times. And when you do that, you'll realize that not to invoke the worst times in your life. I don't want you to be looking for that and try and co-create that in your life now. But I want you to see everything as a cycle. Life is a cycle. Breathing is a cycle. There are cycles to everything. And even though you may be in the worst of times, it's also an opportunity. And either you see it as half empty, the glass, and oh gosh, this is the end and blah, blah, blah. Or you see it with its half full. And when you're seeing that, you'll see that you've got the potential of so many other things. You've forgotten about certain gifts or certain skills that you have. Go check in, Radio 404 or the kicker exercise, the candle exercise. Those are the 3 that I've put up that really you will benefit from. Hopefully you will, but I'm not going to, I can lead you to water, I can't make you drink. It's up to you to decide what you want to do in this new year. It is an exciting time. And yes, I give a lot of predictions that are kind of not doomsday, but they're really harsh and hard. But I'm here as a realist. I'm not here to kind of, everything's going to be okay. Yes, it will be eventually if you do what you need to do. But I'm not here to be placating you. I'm here to hopefully motivate you and get you moving. So please, I'm really wishing and hoping that you'll take this, even if one portion, to heart. Okay, so we're going back again, and what I'd like to share is that with those, you have grown definitely in the worst of times. So if that exercise, do it on your own. And also remember that President Lincoln, I don't have it in front of me, but President Lincoln failed an incredible amount of times, even in business or as a politician. But he didn't give up. Edison didn't give up. we wouldn't have, well, quite frankly, it was Tesla, but Edison, you know, for the light bulb. But I'm just saying, it's really to do with what you have within you. You are not alone. You ask for help. Look at the candle exercise and you'll understand what I'm talking about that. And there are certain caveats and rules to that, and that's why I'm advocating you check out the candle lesson. And I'll try and put a little, what do you call it, a link up here in this video for that, to the candle lesson. So, there is an exercise. If any of you have seen this before, go check it out if you're new to me. There are lectures I put out where I do an exercise with your hands and you stretch it out. And it's really to show you certain things. And this exercise is called the arm exercise, which shows you how you can expand your mind, your power, your visualization. But it's really about your mind, okay? How you can, in less than 1 minute, that you can change your world. And it is the first lecture I share with anyone everywhere I do it. It is kind of a token I'm known for. And everyone who is listening or has made it this far or not too bored yet is to the instructions, and who wants to grow and get more, and it's quite, in less than a minute, nearly everybody in that room, and I'm talking about the only exceptions, maybe one in a few hundred, say, oh, I didn't grow. Well, those are the people who I hate to say, don't want to grow. They're so stuck in their ways, they only see that half empty glass. So I'm telling it to the majority of people who get it and have grown in less than a minute with this exercise, is that they can see that your mind does not know the difference, and this is true. And it's been proved, and I cover a lot of physics in my class and actual hard facts. I don't just take it from the air here. I am backed up with facts. But your mind does not know the difference between an actual event and a made-up event. And because of that, you will see that you can grow so much, and you can visualize. And the other thing is, when you do this exercise, you have to realize that your mind, since it doesn't know the difference between an actual event and a made-up event, and that's why some people go into their own minds and do some horrible destructive things, which I predicted and came through immediately after I put that video up, unfortunately, in Connecticut, is that people have to be aware how powerful their mind is. Also, regarding that, be careful of that, please. That you don't pump it with negativity, that you are, not that you have to be a Pollyanna. I'm the last person who would be like that, quite frankly. But just to be in that more positive vein. You've got roads that are you lead up to, that your path is on. You can sometimes be shuffled on to the right and you're in a holding pattern. But your mind is so powerful, it can change things. In that way, and you go test this out, that when you start really fixating and really concentrating on things that you do want, don't start putting a list on what I don't want this year. What you do want. Don't put the negative wording in there, or the aggressive negative. You do the passive assertive words. And what I'm trying to tell you is, if you do, your mind becomes a magnet. How many times you said, oh, I'm going to buy a car and I want whatever, a Cadillac. And you'll see Cadillacs all over the place, because your mind is now focusing and actually being more finite in its direction of what you want. Just like that, in that you want to be financially better. Well, health and wealth, whatever. Health, again, you have to work at it, but you can't just sit on the sofa. You have to do some participation. Okay, so your mind is a magnet, and be careful of that. Try and do that exercise and it'll show you in less than a minute. So what I'm saying